I'm ranked 39k with my bench boost active. I need to optimise that to finish in the top 10k again, do a sell seller for Saka, there is scope for it, and do a keep Foden. I'm going to discuss all that during my video, reveal my captain matrix, and the best fixtures for attackers and defenders. Double Arsenal defence hasn't held up well recently, but they have got the best fixtures in the double game week against Ipswich away and Palace at home, and out of all the double game week teams they've got the strongest defence, so I'm glad I've doubled up on them. If I had the option to double up again and not use any free transfers, I would still go for Raya and Saliba. They're the two most nailed defensive players. Your third option's Kiwior if you really want to triple up on their defenders, or you can't afford Saliba. His expected minutes are pretty decent, they're just not as high as Saliba's. If I wasn't already going to be tripled up on Arsenal this game week, I would go for an Arsenal defender, but I think the best of the rest is Gvardiol. City's defensive fixtures aren't too bad, Everton away and Villa at home, and Villa might even rest some players in that second fixture because they've got a very important FA Cup fixture a few days after that. The reason I said Gvardiol over any other City defender is not just because he's nailed, it's because sometimes he does provide attacking threat. Obviously that's more when he's a fullback. He has been playing centre-back sometimes recently, but there is potential for him to play fullback and get forward. The last defender I'd be starting this game week if I wasn't on bench boost would be Pau Torres. Yeah, he's got two fixtures against Newcastle at home and City away. They are both difficult, and to be fair, he's not been getting many minutes recently, but I do think it's worth taking that risk. He is a better option than my bench defenders, which are Livramento and Trippier. They're only guaranteed one fixture, and that's away against Villa. That is just how things stand at the minute before free transfers, but I am planning on selling Trippier, and I do say that more than Livramento because I think Livramento's got higher expected minutes, and he is a lot cheaper as well, just in case I want to splash the cash in future. As for the replacement, it will probably be Konza. I've already tripled up on Palace, I've already tripled up on City, I'll probably end up tripling up on Arsenal, and the remaining team is Villa. I've already got two players from Villa, and you will see that shortly, so I would probably bring in Konza. I have also considered Isak to Watkins, but the thing is we're not going to get many more minutes out of Watkins than we are out of Isak. That's unless Emery turns around and goes, yeah, Watkins is going to start the next match, then I'd be more likely to do it. Even if Watkins does start the next match, or even both of the next fixtures in the double game week, I still think Isak will outscore him from now until the end of the season, so I do think that would be a downgrade, and a potential free transfer waiting to happen to sell Watkins in future. So on the bench boost, you're more than likely going to see Isak. Trippier's probably going to become Konza, but you will see shortly it could be another defender, depending on my second free transfer. Livramento's going to be there, and the other player is my goalkeeper, which is Areola against Southampton at home. I've gone for the cheapest playing goalkeeper in the game, and when I get to play him this game week, he's got the easiest fixture all season against Southampton at home. I know West Ham don't have the best of defences, but I do expect them to keep a clean sheet this game week. Taking a look at the defensive fixture difficulty ratings, they kind of go without saying target the double game week teams. To be fair, if you're not on free hit game week 34, then you can consider other teams as well like West Ham, Newcastle. They're probably the best teams to target who don't have a double game week. Despite Arsenal being the strongest defence to target in this double game week, from now till the end of the season, City's defence is actually better to target, especially if you're on free hit game week 34, you get a double, then Wolves at home, then Southampton away, then Bournemouth at home and Fulham away aren't too bad either. Even if I wasn't on game week 34 free hit, I'd still target the City defence. You're still going to get 4 fixtures in the next 4 game weeks, and there's no team that comes close to how easy they are. The news has just broke that Ederson's picked up an injury, and he has been ruled out of the first game of this double game week, but they don't know how severe it is or how long he's going to be out for. He could be back for the second game in the double game week, so personally I don't think I'd take a risk on Ortega. The only way I would do it is if Ederson's ruled out long term, or at least guaranteed to miss both of these fixtures in the double game week, or even if you're just going to get Ortega as your backup goalkeeper over Areola, but Areola offers insurance on your bench for the rest of the season. Ortega might not offer that. Moving on to attack, I've still got Eze, Sarr and Mateta as my Palace triple up. Now, double game week 32 didn't go as well as I planned, to be fair. Eze missed a penalty, and he would have had a massive haul in that double game week if it wasn't for that. There's a massive swing, but rant's over. I've already had a rant in my best captain video. Sarr got 7 points, which is alright, especially for his price tag, and Mateta got subbed off early in both of the matches, came away with a 2-pointer, which is just like blanking in a single game week. Glasner has just confirmed that Mateta will start the first game of this double game week. There is reassurance there, but I'm not sure if he'll get subbed off yet, or even start the second match. Salah faces Leicester away this game week, and if this wasn't a double game week, he'd be my captain. The thing is, it is a double game week, and I actually think there's scope to sell him. I say that because I don't plan on captaining him for a while. Now, I do think he is a very good player. Obviously, I'm stating the obvious there. Looks like I don't think he is by selling him. But realistically, when a player's that expensive, if you're not going to get double points on them, I think it's worth considering what value for money that you're getting and what you get if you distributed that throughout the rest of your team. And from now until the end of the season, I am going to splash that money. So I don't want to be kicking myself by not giving myself that flexibility when I'm keeping an expensive player that I'm not going to captain anyway. As a side note, if you want access to my captain matrix from now until the end of the season, head over to my Patreon. You get other exclusive benefits as well, but it is exclusively on there from now until the end of the season. You won't get to see it on Twitter or YouTube. Make sure you head over there and subscribe. I have considered selling Foden instead of Salah, and that's not something I've forgotten about, still something that I could do, but there is a higher upside there with the double game week, plus you've got a couple of easier fixtures after the blank game week as well. If we get a leak that Foden starts, I'm definitely not selling him. If we get a leak that Foden's benched, I'll sell Foden for Saka and not Salah, and then I'd sell Trippier to Diaz rather than Konsa. I would only get 11 double game week fixtures rather than 12, but that would be because I'm selling a double game week to a double game week, which is Foden to Saka, but I'd rather have that City defender rather than a Villa defender if I go down that route. Last game week there was a lot of scaremongering about Rodgers' minutes. I took the risk on him and got awarded with an assist. Now in the double game week I think he's the best Villa attacker to own. I don't think he's 100% nailed, but I think he's near enough there, and that can't be said about any of the other Villa attackers, especially not Watkins or Rashford, who seem to be rotated. Emery did say he'd like to play both of them up front, but he did also say they're not tactically ready yet, so they will probably continue to share minutes. I'd avoid both of them with there being better alternatives. If I wasn't free hitting in blank game week 34, I would probably go for Bowen. I still think Wood and Bruno are good options to bring in as well, but let's not ignore City's fixtures. Like I said, they've still got 2 games in the next 2 game weeks just like the other teams, and their fixtures are easier than the other teams around them. Comparing City's fixtures with Liverpool's and ignoring game week 34 for the free hit, I'm remembering that I'm not going to captain Salah, and the difference between Foden's and Salah's price tags, this adds to my case of me keeping Foden and reinvesting the funds. Speaking of City's attack, the last player in my team is Marmoush, and he's in the running for captaincy this game week. It's so close between him and Saka. I'm not going to spoil the best captain video, make sure you watch it now if you've not already. So in summary, if Foden starts, I'll probably sell Salah for Saka and Trippier for Konsa. If it's leaked that Foden's benched, I'll probably sell Foden for Saka and then Trippier to Diaz. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and on Patreon. My team reveal will be published on both of them before the deadline. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos like this, and head over to my Patreon page for exclusive benefits such as my captaincy matrix, early access to fixture difficulty ratings, transfers before price changes, and even more.